So good morning students, it is a computer science class. Take page number 229, chapter 6 recursion. Okay. So question number 12. Identify the base cases. Listen, identify the not base case, it is base cases such that there will be more number of base cases, I think so. Okay. So identify the base cases in the following recursive function. Okay, fine. So listen here, this is a program, it contains one function. Whether it is a recursive function or not, listen, inside the function definition itself, there is a same function one calling statement is there, such that this is a pakka recursive function. Okay. If it is a recursive function means compulsory there will be two things. Okay. One is base case and number two is recursive case. Okay. Where recursive case means nothing but it is a function. It is a function call statement, okay, with the same name. You see what is this? It is function 1. Can you see any function 1 function here? Yes, function 1 function and function 1 function. So this is a recursive case. This is also a recursive case and this is also a recursive case. Got it? Recursive case means nothing but it is a function call statement with the same name. So near def, what is this? Function 1 is there. Again the same function 1 is available here. Again the same function 1 calling statement is available here. So this calling statement is a recursive case and this calling statement is a recursive case. Right. Then what is this? The remaining one is base case. This base case will contain a condition and a return statement. Got it? Okay. This base case will contain either the condition, okay, or the return case. So here condition and return statement is there. So this is a base case 1. Base case 1. And here also there is a condition and return statement. So this is a base case 2. And here this also, listen, what is the use of base case means? So recursive function will be executed again and again and again unlimitedly. To stop the recursion we are using base case. So here return -1 is also used to stop the function. So that this is also a base case. So it is 3. So identify the base cases. There are 3 base cases available here. They are if n equal to 0 return 5, it is base case 1. If n equal to 1 return 8, it is a base case 2. And finally else return -1, it is a base case 3. That's all. Okay. So hope you understand. Thank you very much. So good morning students, it is a computer science class. Take page number 223. Okay. So lesson number 6, recursion. Come to 6.1. What is the question? Which of the following are the examples of recursive function? First, what is called recursive function? A function, listen, a function which calls itself means it is called as recursive function, or otherwise it is called as direct recursion. Already you know direct recursion and recursive function both are same. Okay. So a function call itself means it is called as direct recursion or recursive function. So here so many options are there, so many programs are there, A program, B program, C program, like that. Among this which one is the recursive function they are asking. Okay, okay, listen carefully. So recursive function means compulsory this should be there. Okay, what should be there means, first we can see the right example. Okay, so listen. So this is a right program. First we can see the correct program, then we can go for the wrong program. Got it? Okay. So E, PRN number function. So this is a function definition, PRN number definition. Okay. Where is the function body? The function body is up here. The function body is starting from here and ending here. Okay. Listen. This is PRN number definition. The PRN number definition starts from here and ends here. Okay. So this is the function body. Inside the function body, if PRN num calling statement appear means it is nothing but a recursive function. It is a correct recursive function, that's all. What is that? Very simple. PRN num definition. The function body starts from here to here. Inside the function body, if the same PRN num calling statement appear means this is a perfect recursive function. Got it? Hope you understand. Okay. So including that, here what is this? It is a base case condition. Can you see one condition? This is a base case condition, and also after the base case condition, return statement is there. Okay, so that this is a pakka recursive function. Once again I will repeat. First, point number 1. Inside the function body with the same name PRN num, inside the function body there should be a calling statement and there should be a base case condition. After the base case condition, return statement should appear. So this is a perfect recursive function. Got it? Okay. Now come here. Def print ch function. Now you say here, where is the function body? Yes, function body starts from here and ends here. Okay. So inside the function body, can you see that any calling statement? I think this is look like a calling statement, right? But listen, here capital P print and here small p print, such that this is a normal print statement. This is not a calling statement. So that this is not a recursive function. This is not a recursive function. Got it? I think hope you understand. So listen, we can go for the next one. Okay, B option. Now you tell me whether the B option is correct recursive function or not. Yes, listen. What is the recursive function name? Yes, recur. Where is the function body? Function body starts from here and ends here. Starts from if and ends with p minus 1. Got it? Okay. Inside the function body, is there any same name recur calling statement within the function body? Yes. Here we can find recur function calling statement. This is a calling statement such that a function, it calls itself inside a function body, so that this is a recursive function. This is a perfect recursive function. Okay. Also it contains one base condition, but only one thing is missing. In this B program, only one thing is missing. What is that now? That is, after the base case condition, there should be return statement. Listen. You see here, after the base case condition, return statement is appear, such that it is a very perfect recursive function. Okay, fine. But whereas you see here, after this base case condition, there is no return statement. Okay. So what I am saying means, of course, yes, it is a recursive statement. You additionally you write one thing is missing, that is after the base case condition, return statement is missing. Like that you write. What you have to write? After base case condition, return is missing. Like that you write. Okay? Right. What is the next one? C. What is the function name? Recur function name. Okay. Then where the function body starts from here, where it's going to end, I think, yes, here it. So function body starts here and ends here. Inside the function body with the same name recur, there should be a calling statement. With the same name recur, yes, here, no. Yes, no. So inside the, I'm so sorry, there are two functions. One is recur function, another one is recur one function. Okay. So listen, there are two functions. I itself got confused. Got it? So listen carefully. Recur function definition. The function body starts here and ends here. And one more function, recur one function, the function body starts here and ends here. Got it? Okay. Now you see, this recur function will trying to call the recur one function. You see, can you see here? Calling statement. Recur function trying to call recur one function. Okay. And that's all, the program is finished. What I am trying to say is, listen. Recur function and here recur one function. Recur function is trying to call recur one function. Okay. Whereas recur one function is not calling this rec function. Such that this is not a recursion. This is not any kind of recursive function. Okay. So what is the definition? A function should call itself. That means it is a recursive function. Whereas here, this rec function is calling the recur one function, and recur one function is not calling the rec function. So that this is not any kind of recursive function. So this is not the answer. Got it? Okay. So now we are going for D section. Okay. So now you see here, inside the check function definition, made function calling statement is there, such that this will call this function. Okay. And inside the made function definition, there is a check function is there. So check function will call the check function definition. What I am trying to say is, check function will call made function, and made function will call check function, and check function will call made function. Like that, indefinite times it will be continuously going on. Okay. Now you tell me this is a perfect recursive function or not. First function call the second function, and second function call the first function, means this is a recursive function or not. So the answer is, this is not a recursive function. Whereas I can say this is an indirect recursive function. What I am trying to say is, D option is, this is not a recursive function. Why? Means a function has to be called itself. That is called as recursive function. But first function calls the second function, and second function calls the first function, means this is nothing but an indirect recursive function. Okay, fine. So finally the answer is A function, yes, it is a no, it is not a recursive function. B function, yes, it is a recursive function. C is nothing but it is not a recursive function. and D is, it is not a recursive function, whereas it is an indirect recursive function, and E is a perfect recursive function. So that's all. So I think I hope you understand. Thank you very much. So good morning students, it is a computer science class. Take page number 370. So lesson number 11, computer networks, part 1. Okay. First we are going to see what is called computer network. Okay. A computer network is a collection of interconnected autonomous computing devices so as to exchange information or share resources. That means, listen, can you see one computer? If this computer was separated alone means it won't form a network. Whereas a computer, a laptop, then a printer, then a mobile device, like that, if all the devices are connected with a Wi-Fi network means, so that now it can be able to exchange information, exchange the softwares, okay, like that anything we can able to share, such that all the devices form a network. Simply I am saying no. You see, this is a person. He is standing alone. He won't form a network. He can't be able to form a friends network. Whereas one more person and one more person, okay. So all these friends are connected together. Okay. All these persons are connected together such that they can share the information, they can share the pen, they can share the pad, like that. If they can able to share the information and if they can able to share the resources means these persons can able to form a network. Individually if you stand means you won't form a network, whereas grouply if you connected and if you connected means it is nothing but a network where you can able to share the information. Got it? Okay. So now you see here, to form a network we need two computers. To form a network we need at least two computers. Okay. So two or more autonomous computing devices connected to one another in order to exchange information or share the resources is called as computer network. Okay. So very simple. To form a network, how many computers we need? Yes, at least two computers. If you connected means you can able to exchange the information, you can able to exchange the information and you can able to share the resources. Okay, it is called as computer network. For example, in your house, in your home, you have a smartphone, you have a laptop, you have a smart TV, you have a gaming computer, you have a printer. Okay, so all these are connected together through a common Wi-Fi means, okay, so it will form a computer network. Got it? Okay. Then what is called sharing the resources? What is called sharing the resources means, can you see, only one printer is there, only one printer is there. Through the smartphone you can take a printout, or through your laptop you can take a printout, or through your gaming computer you can take a printout. Okay, like that. If you form a network, you can able to share the resources. Got it? So this is called computer networks. So hope you understand. Thank you very much. So good morning students. It is a computer science class. Take page number 370. Chapter 11, computer networks. Okay. So the topic is advantages of network. What is this? These are networks. Okay. So many computers are attached together with a server is called as a computer network. Fine. So share, what are the advantages means? Sharing the resources. You see, in a company, for example, there are 100 computers are there. Okay. But only one printer is there. That one printer can be used by all the 100 computers. Got it? So this is nothing but sharing of resources. So this is cheaper than buying equipment for each computer. For example, for 100 computer, if you buy 100 printer means the cost will be very more. Okay, so that if you share these resources with 100 computer means, so the cost will become very low. Got it? This is the main advantages of networks. Got it? And next one is sharing of storage. In a server computer, okay, you see there will be so many computers will be there. In center there will be a server will be there. In the server computer, if you store one important file means this file can be accessed by all the other computer. Okay, fine. So this is called sharing of storage. Being able to access files from any machines on the network can share the data. If you store the file in the server, that file can be accessed by any computer in the network. Got it? Fine. And next one is can share the software. Okay, you see, using a software is not a simple thing. Suppose any one software, if you are using for a company, a software if you use in your home means no need to pay any amount. But a software if you use in a company means you have to pay the amount. Okay, so that for this server computer alone, we are installing the software, we are paying the amount and we are getting the license. Okay, such that software can be used by all the other computer. Such that here also there will be a cost effective method. Got it? Okay. And next one is improve the communication. So if you form a network means, so one computer can able to easily communicate with other computer through the networks. Got it? So these are all the advantages. What are the advantages? We can able to share the resources. We can able to share the storage files. We can able to share the software. That means for one computer alone we can able to get we can get the license. For other computer no need to get the license. And we can improve the communications in the network. That means one computer can able to easily communicate with other computer. So these are all the advantages of networks. So hope you understand. See you next class. So good morning students, it is a computer science class. Take page number 370, lesson number 11, networks. Disadvantages of networks. So this is nothing but a network. So if you use a network means, what are the disadvantages? The first one is, it needs a specialist staff to run. You see, in all big companies, they have so many computers. All are connected together with a server. Okay, if any one system is not working means there may be a wire fault or any technical fault. So hundreds of computers, for example in a Google company there are thousands and thousands of computers will be there. Okay, if there is any one system not receives a network means, okay, so there may be a connection fault. Where the connection lies, where the problem lies, we cannot find it out. So we need a network specialist to handle the network problem. The systems are more sophisticated and complex to run. This can add to cost and you may need a specialist staff to run on the network. There may be a connection problem means, where is the connection problem lies, we cannot easily find it out. So we need a specialist, network specialist to find out the fault in the network. Got it? Okay. And next, we are in need of file security. Since you know very well, if you are using a phone, okay, in that phone if you are using means internet means, it is a connection of all networks. You can get any information from any place. Got it? So there is a chance of getting virus. Okay, so in a computer, if you attach so many computers means, sorry, in a company, if you are attaching so many computers means, if any one computer receives a virus means, there may be a chance of getting virus to all the computer. So, one thing is very very important. What is that? File security. In a network, if any one computer receives a virus means, all computer may receive a chance of getting virus. So that file security is important. File security is more important especially if you connected to WAN, wide area network. Example, protection from virus. There may be a chance of virus, so that you should be very very cautious. Got it? Okay. So that what they will do now, they will use an external hardware device, okay, to external hardware file security device to protect from virus. Okay. And next one is, if networks are badly managed. You see, networks are, dealing a network is not simple thing, it is a complicated thing. If you are badly managed means, all the computer will become unusable. Okay. So தப்பா மேனேஜ் பண்ணீங்கன்னா ஒரு கம்ப்யூட்டர் கூட யூஸ் பண்ண முடியாத மாதிரி போயிடும். புரிஞ்சுதா? Okay. So if the networks are badly managed means, all the computer will be unusable. Okay. Next one is, if software and files are held centrally, okay, that means ஒரு server எல்லா கம்ப்யூட்டரும் ஹேண்டில் பண்ணுதுன்னு வச்சுக்கலாம். One server is handling all the computer means, suppose if one server fails, if the server fails means, all the computer, okay, will be get disconnected. If one server is not working means, all the computer will not receive the file sharing, will not receive the software sharing, will not receive anything. Got it? Okay. So that's all. Okay. So these are all the disadvantages of networks. So hope you understand. Thank you very much. So good morning students. It's a computer science class. Take page number 371. Chapter 11, computer networks. Okay. So what are the components of your computer network? Very simple. Listen. For example, there are two computers are there. Okay. Only two computers are there. These two computers are simply connected together. It won't form a network. You listen. This is a computer and this is another computer. Simply if you connect it through a wire means, it won't form a network. There are some components are needed to form a computer network. What are the components? The major components of a computer networks are hosts or nodes. That means, listen, in your home you may have a PC, a laptop, smartphone, all are connected together means, here the dead end PC is nothing but a node, laptop is also a node, smartphone is also a host or node. Got it? Okay. Then, in a company, hundreds of client computers are handled by one server means, okay. So it clearly says that to form a network, we need so many clients, we need so many client computers, and we need few server computers. Server computers are the masters, will control the client computers. Got it? Okay. So in a company, there will be hundreds and hundreds of computers. So hundreds of client computers was controlled by few server computers. So server is also needed, client computers also needed. Okay. Next, to form a network, we are in need of network hardware. Without network hardware, we cannot connect the two computers. You see, simply if you connect a wire means, these two computers are not connected. But if you use a proper network hardware means, we can able to connect a proper network. What are the network hardwares? NIC card, network interface card, then router, then switch, hub, etc. If these hardwares are used in the computers means, yes, you can form a proper Pakka computer network. Okay, then communication channel is needed. What is communication channel? Cables, radio links. Okay, so wired communication means you are in need of cables. Wireless communication to form a network means we are in need of radio links. Okay, fine. So this is nothing but a communication channel. Then software is needed. To connect two computers, we are in need of software. Without software, we cannot form a network. So what are the softwares? It is nothing but a protocol. Okay. What is called protocol? Protocol is nothing but a set of rules and regulations to be followed in a network. That is called protocols. Then another software is network operating system. You know that Windows OS. If you buy one computer means they will give you Windows OS. Okay. So through that you can able to do only one thing in one computer. Okay. Whereas if you form a network means you are in need of software. What kind of software means? Network operating system. Okay. So without this one you cannot form a network. And next one is network services. So the such as BNS or file sharing. Okay. So without these things, BNS and file sharing, we cannot share the files among the network. Okay. So hope you understand. Thank you very much.